Hi everyone, Dr. Lauren here with Healing Touch Chiropractic, and welcome to my workshop on concussions. What I want you to take away from today's workshop is that chiropractic care plays a huge role in how well somebody recovers from a concussion, how quickly they recover from a concussion, and if there is any type of activity that you or a child is looking to get back into, that is a way that we will get them back to that activity faster. So, what is a concussion? A concussion is a brain and nervous system injury. It can happen with falls, it can happen with very big sports impact, which is what most people often assume a concussion is from. There's a ton of football stories with concussions involved. There's not so many with somebody falling off of a curb and hitting their head, or somebody getting into a car accident, and the only thing that they may have been diagnosed with is whiplash injury. But that is the exact type of motion that can lead to a concussion. They may not think that, but some of the bigger car accidents where there was a lot of acceleration and then instant deacceleration is exactly that type of thing. It is where the brain moves within the skull and it can become injured. And if the brain becomes injured, there's a lot of things that are not fully communicating, and that can cause the body to go into absolute protection mode. So, common symptoms are headache, dizziness, nausea, and vomiting. Some possibly less observant symptoms may be mood changes, more irritability, some more anxiety following whatever type of trauma, also trouble focusing, slower processing or slower thinking, having to think of words or ways to say certain things or to come up with a word about what something may be. Light noise sensitivity is also a big indicator with what's going on. And then also balance issues or clumsiness are some big signs and symptoms. So a lot of us are familiar with whiplash, and there's a ton of upper neck involvement with that. I mean, you can go this way, you can go this way. Some people are turned and they can go this way. There's a ton of that with a whiplash injury specifically that most people are aware of. But even when somebody falls, even if they catch themselves on an arm or a hip in the process, there's still a bounce that happens. May or may not actually hit their head on the ground, but there's still that type of motion that's going to come from it. This is all where the protection starts, because it was one of the most dramatic motions that happens in the fall or the impact or the whiplash. It's all right here. And let me break it to you, everything that the brain needs to communicate to the rest of the body and vice versa, it has to go through the neck. It has to. There's no other way to get to the rest of the body but through the neck. If the neck is in complete protection mode, there is going to be less range of motion, which is going to be the most obvious for people. There may be pain involved because you can't move as much, and there's a reason for that pain. It is actually a very smart response from the body. It doesn't want you to do that again. But what people may not realize is all of the communication going to your heart, to your lungs, to your digestion, to the way that you are using your hands and your feet is either going to be garbled communication or it's going to be slow communication, which means that your breathing may be affected. Whether or not you realize it, you may be breathing faster because the body's trying to compensate for what's going on. You may realize that you can't take a full breath because there's just no communication that tells the body to do that. The digestion is a big one. So one of the things that can happen is that the digestive tract, it's not necessarily one of the most important roles after a trauma to keep food moving through, that it may turn its frequency of function down. It may stop altogether. So constipation or chronic diarrhea is also a sign or symptom to keep an eye out for. after a concussion or concussion type injury. So the concussion is the brain's way of saying I am overwhelmed, I need help, and to I need to calm down, which is where chiropractic comes in big time. We take care of a lot of body protective mechanisms, and that is as simple as us just using our hands to essentially tell the body, especially in the upper cervicals and upper back in this case, that it is okay. We help your body feel safe again. We're not just telling you you're going to get better. We're not just telling you to take a medication because the pain is a lot right now, or your headaches won't go away, or you can't quite move. We are literally getting to the root of what is protecting you, and we are telling it that it is okay. It is not going to happen in just one visit because the body is going to protect itself until it actually knows that it's okay. So, do not ignore subtle changes, like changes in your digestion, changes in your breathing, changes in your vision, in the way that things taste. It is all going to be affected. So, after an incident, again, whether it's a fall or an impact with another person in a car or outside of a car, or you were diagnosed with a whiplash injury, for 24 to 48 hours, reduce screen time. That is putting more stress on your eyes, which, guess what? Your back of your brain is needing to communicate all the things that it's seeing. And screens itself are very overstimulating for most things. TV shows, YouTube videos, even just games that you may play on your phone. It's all incredibly overstimulating for a brain that is not functioning at 100%. Make sure that you rest. Make sure that you are avoiding any type of high stimulation environment. I mean, that could be something like a grocery store. Give your body ways that it can feel safe by avoiding overstimulation, kind of really any stimulation, because some people don't realize when too much is too much or if too much is too much. Rest. Give your body rest. Let it heal. But of course, if there are excessive amounts of vomiting, headaches that won't go away, or headaches that get worse, if there is a lot of confusion, all of those may be a time to seek out medical care to make sure that there's not any type of brain bleed, brain bruising, anything more serious than just the body being protective of itself. If there is something that you would like to get back to, like, quite simply something as easy as driving and being able to look over your shoulder, or being able to stand at the kitchen counter and cook dinner or do dishes without pain or fatigue or headaches or sensitivity to the lights, that is what we are looking to get back for you. So, I'm going to explain the chiropractic care. So, if you are not a current patient in our office, we go through an entire first day visit where there are neurological scans that are done and a neurological exam. So the neurological scans are 3 different instruments of technology that we use. A big one in this case is going to be our HRV scanner, where we will scan your hand for 3 minutes and 10 seconds, and it is going to tell us how quickly your body and yourself are going to be able to bounce back from any type of injury, but in this case, concussion type injuries or whiplash. And it's going to give us huge, huge, huge insight as to how quickly you should expect to recover based on whether your body is in a huge fight or flight state right now, where your gas pedal is just always going, and there's going to be a huge gap between where that recovery state will come into play. Or vice versa, if somebody's already stuck in the recovery state and they don't have a whole lot of adaptability to do that, it's going to take time. Everything in life takes time. So after that, we also do a neurological exam where we truly challenge how well the brain and the body are communicating. And we do that in many different ways. And one of those things is having somebody stand on a line and march with their eyes closed and see if they can stay in the same spot, just based on where the body's communication from top to bottom, bottom back to top is at. It would be normal for somebody to stay in the same spot. But with a nervous system that is overloaded, it is most likely not going to do that. And that is something that you will prove to yourself in those 30 seconds of marching with your eyes closed. Then after that, we will talk through what happened, figure out a plan, and then we will essentially just show you with our hands or our instruments how you can notice that your body's feeling safe. You will feel tension melt out of all the spaces. Again, over time, you should notice that your digestion picks back up, your breathing slows back down, your eyes are not fuzzy or they do not get affected by lights. You shouldn't be as sensitive to noises. Everything should be coming back online is essentially the biggest key. We are turning the lights back on in your body so that it can feel safe to fully function again and get you back where you need to be. So, when you hear the word concussion or whiplash, or quite literally you've taken a fall and you get neck stiffness, headaches, vision changes, hearing changes, all sorts of weird symptoms that you maybe wouldn't expect unless you've experienced this type of thing, you need to add chiropractic care into your recovery. It is going to make huge changes in how well you recover and if there are going to be long-term effects that go unanswered. We're going to stop that at the care or at the beginning with care. So, if you have experienced or have been diagnosed with a concussion in the past, and you've never once received chiropractic care after that diagnosis, you just went through the steps of the medical system, it is not too late to get chiropractic care to help your body feel safe again. So if there are any questions or if you guys are interested in starting care at our office, please give us a call. Phone number is 701-893-3150. It is also all over our Facebook page, website. Check all of those things out and let's get you back and get you living the life that you want to live. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you guys next time.